What is up, legends? We are back in Tower of God. This video is sponsored by Bluestacks, so if you like what you see here, we are in vertical mode in Bluestacks right now. This is on my account, and yeah, so click the link in the description if you like to support the channel and if you want to download the game from Bluestacks. So with that said, let's get right into the game. So I reviewed this game twice already. And what we're going to do is talk about it from a 3 to 4 day standpoint, because that's how long I played and how long I've been playing on the game. Now, don't get this wrong. This is a idle game, 100% through and through. With that said, it's meant to be played like maybe 1 to 2 hours a day, and then you go about your business. Now, you can go harder than that. You can play it like it's a PC or console game, but you're going to burn out quick because it's very limited in what you can actually do. So you have your story mode, which is actually pretty cool. This might be the best part of the game, and I would actually hate it. I was like, I don't want to do no story mode. This is whack. I was wrong. It's actually pretty good. Now, in order to progress, as you can see, you need to actually go through the individual stages. So I have to actually go down here and push through all the way up to 228. You can't, like, just for a certain part of the game, like, you just have to do one or the other. So it'll actually tell you. So like, I literally have to go to adventure stage 228, and then I can turn around and go through story mode. Story mode is basically you going through literally like the manga way of the story, not the anime, because the anime is truncated and they leave a whole lot out. They don't do that here. Like, this is literally the manga way, which is actually pretty cool because games usually don't do that. Games usually follow the anime, and most games they usually follow the anime, but this is actually following the manga more closely than the anime. All right, so we keep going through. And another thing that's cool about this game is that you can pretty much level up the slots. I've said this before, and you have to pay close attention. So you see I have 2 characters right there that are beneficial to fighting the opposite side. They are green element and have 2 red elements. So what you could do, even, we're gonna do that. So now I have full elemental advantage, and on top of having the full elemental advantage, I have the 5-step bonus. The 5-step bonus is, can I see it from here? Yeah. 5-step bonus is 15% HP and 15% attack. Now, you don't necessarily have to do that, but if you want to get the most bang for your buck, you should try to do that as much as possible. Me personally, I just was like, I want to pick who I want to pick with my characters that I like, and I can still win that way, which you can as long as you adhere to what the trinity is, which is tank, DPS, and healer. You still can get away with it, and then throw some support out, and you should be just fine. But for the most part, so hilarious, beat your behind with a plate. You get her free basically, second day. But you also notice when you clear stages, 2-8 right there basically is going to give you items, and you can put that on your actual gear. Now the idle is actually interesting because the idle can help you limit break and level up your slots. So if you don't have time to play during the day, of course, the further along you are in the story and your slots, stay vigilant. This is always like all of the simulations, not simulation, all of the animations for all this is just really good. It's not like crappy. Like, they actually tried. So I give them props for this. This is if you're gonna have an idle game, this is a pretty good idle game. People are probably gonna like it. People are gonna play it. How long it's gonna last, I don't know. It depends on how much content they're gonna put into this, and how, like, if they're gonna keep the 2-week content cycle, which this game, the IP itself has more than enough content to do that. There's so many characters in this IP story. How far they have that program, I don't know. It seems at least until the point of just a little spoiler of to the point where Bam awakens. It seems at least to the point of that because they actually show it in a cutscene right here. They don't tell you what it is, but it's actually Bam awakened. And I guess not really a spoiler because you don't really know what that means. But when you see it, then you'll know what it means. But
a hacker's secrets are expensive, my friend.
All right, so we unlocked a workshop store, which whatever. But it's gonna make me do it. I was gonna go right past it. Most of the store stuff is actually pretty cheap, by the way. As you see, you can actually peek at this before you even open it, which is actually kind of cool. Now, one thing I did notice is that this game does a good job of early game of giving you currency. So if you want to re-roll for somebody specific, and like you just have to have this character, which is I don't feel that's really necessary in a game where your account is actually the character more so than the characters are, because your account is the slots in the team, and that's what's leveling more so than the characters. You get items and stuff fighting through the stages and stuff like that, but for the most part the account is what's pushing further. So the characters are fine and great, they do stuff, and they'll have certain things that'll be meta. Somebody will make a tier list and be like, oh my god, you gotta have this characters or you suck and stuff like that. People always do that. They always clickbait. Every single game that comes out, somebody's going to do it. So, and then after a week, everybody's like, man, F this works just as good. And then the whole tier list is flipped upside down. But literally, we go through that every single game. Every single game. And every single game, I say, why? like why are we doing a tier list the first damn day? The game ain't even been out yet. It always ends up being different, but people want to see it, and it's clickbait, and people like it. At the end of the day, it's just a thing. It's just a thing in the industry, but it's a bad thing. It's one of the things that is a negative in the gacha community from people looking from the outside looking in. People because it doesn't make any sense. Like, you shouldn't have a tier list day one. That's like saying who's going to win the Super Bowl from before anybody snaps. And they do that too, and people don't like that either in real life. Like, somebody made one shot, oh, the Knicks are going to win the championship, and everybody's going to be like, what the hell? But that's what happens in gaming. Just give you an example of and why that's considered bad in the gaming industry, because it's one of the things that's not respected. It's considered dirty. Normally when you hear about gacha, like if you see somebody mention gacha and something that outside of like a gacha stream or a video, people always say, lol, gacha. Like, why would anybody do that trash genre? And the reason why people say that is because gacha practices trash things, and tier list is one of them. And so I don't know what else to tell you about that, but that's the reality of the world and the situation. I know some people may not like that, but that's the way gaming is. I know it's kind of an unfair thing, and it's kind of a very unfair and somewhat disrespectful way to label people, admittedly, but that's what's happening. And the same thing with with pay to win stores, which we're going to go in right now. And I actually wanted to talk about that because I'm pretty sure that's going people are going to label this game, because I've already seen people literally talking about this game in a gaming stream that had nothing to do with gacha, but this game was brought up, and there was maybe about 10,000 people in that stream, and all you see going down is, lol, gacha. Why they make it a gacha game? It should be a PC game. Like, nobody respects gacha and gacha game. But actually, that's the truth. It just kind of is. Genshin did a lot to help that, but it's still, the stigma is still there because we still have games doing bad practices. Starter pack right here. Starter summon pack, starter plus pack, and special pack. No $100 pack here, which is actually interesting for Netmarble. but also again, like them realizing that this is like not a game that should have stuff like that, and respect on them for actually realizing that this is not a game that should have stuff like that, because they could have just easily made it $100 and said, F it, y'all gonna pay anyway, which somebody will. Somebody absolutely will. But with that said, the reason why I showed you that is that it's not an expensive store. It's actually under market value store. That's not, which is rare for Netmarble. On the idol side, you get a lot of benefit out of the idol. Like the idol gives you a lot. You get the level pretty hard. Snatch this. You get items to limit break with. You get items to actually upgrade your gear. The idol is pretty lit. So for the most part, you want to push as far as you can in content, and then be like, hey, I'm gonna go to sleep, and then wake up in the morning and you get like 2 or 3 levels. It's actually pretty good. So what I'm trying to say is that this is a Netmarble game that don't suck. That's what I'm trying to say right now. Which I know people are not gonna want to hear that, and I get you. The game doesn't suck. Now I don't know what's going to happen when it comes global launch time, because this is early access right now, and that's the reason why I'm sitting here. This is gonna count. This account is gonna count, which is cool. But I wanted to succeed. That's what I really want to say. At the end of the day, despite the stigma of it, and I think that was a little bit unfair. And it just took me back a little bit that it was that many people on that large of a stream just straight hating on gacha. Made me feel bad, to be honest with you. And I'm not strictly a gacha, player. Like I play everything, but it still made me feel bad because there's people who are strictly gacha players, and I feel that this game deserves a shot. It just does. Will it get that? Don't know, but it does deserve it. And that I don't usually say that a lot about idle games. You guys know that. And in fact, I recently lost the bag, as we like to say. I literally lost the contract because I refused to do idols anymore. If they were all like this, then I would have been fine, but they wasn't all like this. You guys saw those games. Those games are literally $5 games that they were doing. Like there's like 10 of them every week that are like $5 to make games, and I was like, I had enough. I can't no more. I can't. I like this is dumb. How are we getting this many of these games coming out? They're still doing it, by the way. Still suckering people, but this is not a sucker game. It's not a throwaway. It's not a cash grab, because I know people would come, oh my god, IP cash grab everything. Like that's the laziest terminology I've ever seen for gaming. People say something is a cash grab for absolutely no reason, and they're gonna do it for this, but this isn't a cash grab, and the store isn't expensive, which is why I wanted to get this video out and show you guys in practice, and see, so you can see where I'm at right now. Like I've literally got like 20,000 worth of currency, and it's not like a super expensive game, and props to them on making it not be that way. So let's just go ahead and look, I got the extra currency from last time, was like a day ago, plus 10 summon, plus you can dedicate what you want to chase after too, which is pretty nice, except for the SSR plus. Can't dedicate them. However, you can go along the track. We just got one, the SSR. You can go along the track and eventually get one.
I'm here for the money you owe. Dear customer.
Yo, he smacked us with stacks. A Godfather worker, he smacked us with stacks. I just wanted to point that out. That was disrespectful, sir. So you see, at 200, you get one of I think there's 6 SSR pluses, and you get a chance at one of those. So we're gonna wrap this up. So my good seal of approval, which, like I said, no SSR. I think this is going to be a good idle game, and people should give it a shot because it has good quality, good animations on the characters, good voice acting. I can't complain about the voice acting. They got a voice editor. They got somebody do animations. They got that rollback netcode, but Netmarble usually always has rollback netcode. They do a good job with that. So the game doesn't really have any weaknesses. The story doesn't even suck. What happens later, I don't know, obviously, because I didn't get that far. We'll see what happens. And supposedly there's supposed to be a PC version, which I'm still going to be pissed off if I'm still looking at Portrait in the PC version. That's the only negative I have for this, which is going to be a lot of people's negative, that this game is stuck in Portrait. But hopefully it does what Last Cordia does, where it spreads out the Portrait, where it kind of doesn't feel like Portrait, because Last Cordia spreads out the Portrait, so it feels a little bit more better than the way that this is, but we'll see. So that is all I got for you guys. Again, this is sponsored by Bluestacks. Works just fine on Bluestacks. Portrait, you can enforce it in Portrait with Bluestacks 2 if you get a screen locker. And you can do that in Bluestacks too if you want. But yeah, so if you want to support the channel and you want to download the game, you can click the link in the description. I will catch you guys next video. Thanks Bluestacks for sponsoring the video, and thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and the Discord. Peace. Thank you, Legends, for getting to the end of the video. We do 3 to 4 videos every day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be first in notification squad. I love everybody who stops by, and I will see you next video. Peace.